What is up, Mets fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Mets'd podcast. We got a win. Mets are allergic to getting swept now, which is good because getting swept earlier in the year is why we're in such a big hole. But hey, won the last game of the series against the Cincinnati Reds. First two games, talk about those too much. We're going to start with the positives before we get going into it. Make sure you guys are subscribed to Mets'd over on YouTube to see the video version of this. If you're a member, you get access to those episodes early. Appreciate everybody who joins over there. If you're listening to us, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, drops a rating, drops a review, download, and subscribe. James, how we feeling? I mean, it's Parade Eve, so that's really what's on our mind.
Yeah, Parade Eve. We're just talking about our plans for that. Maybe even give you guys one more Knicks corner after this. But
No, maybe on the next one. We still have a third episode to put out this week.
I was almost going to medium marvel all the Brunson bullshit that's going on this week. But fun, again, not getting swept. The Mets, all they did was get swept and let themselves fall into these deep holes, one at the end of last year and two at the beginning of this year. So I guess we can say this is like a modicum of progress.
Yeah, it is technically a modicum of progress. The annoying part about it is, again, like, you see the game on Wednesday, and it's like, I see the vision. And then you see the first two games, and you're like, how could anyone ever think that this is a baseball team that could win games sustainably? Like, how can this team be so Jekyll and Hyde? How I feel watching them every single day. Because the first game of the series, if it wasn't for the Knicks winning the finals, I probably would have put a hole in my TV. But then you watch the last game of the series, and you see Nolan McLean absolutely shove, look like he's back. You see Bo Bichette get 3 fucking hits on the day. Juan Soto's getting hits. The offense is clicking. Francisco Alvarez, big day. And you go, God damn it, I think this team's really good when this happens.
Bo Bichette's approaching the Mets franchise record for consecutive multi-hit games. He's at, is it 6 or 5? He's at 5 after, no, it's at 6. He's at 6 after Wednesday against the Reds. Like, he's on fire right now. Like you said, McLean shoved. It was also just nice not to get our teeth kicked in by the first or second inning, because that also happened in the first two games of the series. Like, obviously, it does start with Nolan McLean. I'm sure you guys want to hear about Nolan McLean, as now more injuries have continued to befall this rotation with the loss of Christian Scott, which happened, like, what, right after we put out the episode last week?
Basically right after, but the Mets are saying it's a minor thing, that it's not going to be a lot of time on the IL.
Minor thing, but still at least 2 starts on the injured list. And again, when you have to call upon, like, again, Tobias Myers pitched, now we're jumping around, but I still do want to focus on Nolan McLean. But Tobias Myers pitched terribly on Monday. He's also been jerked around a lot. Kodai Senga pitched worse we'll talk about Kodai later.
Talk about Nolan.
Just to get McLean back on the mound, looking decent, that was good. And I would even say, watching this Nolan McLean start, it didn't even feel like a great Nolan McLean start. It even still felt like a good Nolan McLean start. And that's kind of what's kept me so even-keeled and, dare I say, positive about Nolan McLean over these last 6 weeks, is that even in a game where it doesn't even look like he has anything close to his best stuff still, he's 7 innings, no earned runs, 3 hits, no walks, 9 Ks. You're like, damn, this guy, he does have everything in front of him as things continue to get better for him.
And that's kind of what we need from him, is sometimes, even if the stuff isn't the sharpest, even though it was sharper, I think, than the prior starts, like, definitely much better. Him being able to attack batters like he was and be in control, basically to command the pace of this game, was really nice. Like, the fact that he's going 7 innings, 1 walk, 101 pitches on 63 strikes. Like, these are all good ratios where that's a sustainable Nolan McLean. The strikeouts are always going to come with him because the stuff is that good. But he felt a lot more confident on the mound today, and that's something that we desperately needed to see out of Nolan McLean.
Yeah, and I think he was also just kind of problem solving a little bit on the mound, because like we've said, like, during this cold spell, there's always been a few things that haven't come with Nolan McLean to every single start. And the thing that's still missing is that curveball, especially to the lefties. He only threw, by my count, 4 of them today, and he was starting to command it better, but he still didn't have the confidence to go with it too often. He didn't have really the command for the sweeper. Again, it was better than it's been lately. The cutter was the thing that I think did a lot to save him today. The fastball was too, and the sinker, like you said, commanding the zone, commanding the tempo and the pace, kind of dictating the game to the hitters rather than the other way around. A lot of first pitch strikes. But as he started losing the feel for that sweeper, just never really found it. He was using the cutter as more of a baby slider and working out of the way to the righties. I think that was still making them respect the pitch that wasn't even there, which then allowed him to come back inside, which is, again, nice pitch when he didn't really have everything at his disposal once again.
Yeah, no, I'll never complain about 7 innings. It's pretty difficult to see a major league start in the 2020s, and 7 innings is bad. So
no, this was awesome. This was like statistically his best start of the season.
Considering we basically got dog shit pitching the rest of the series, like, that's good.
Key positives here. We're talking about Wednesday first.
Sure. Wednesday first. Okay, more positives. Bo Bichette looks incredible. I might have stumbled into the best plant my flag moment ever.
Yeah, really. The funniest thing about Bo and having another 3-hit game with 3 runs scored and drawing a late walk, or was that late walk? That was an early walk. I don't remember. On Wednesday, was that he didn't even have a single hard hit ball.
No, of course not. That's the Bo Bichette special. That's why me and you in the past always were so skeptical about Bo, is because he'll, like, in the past, he'd be a 300 hitter. And we're like, yeah, but like half of his hits, he hits like shit. Like, he's getting lucky.
Yeah, but this was kind of what you'd like to see from Bo Bichette. And Keith was talking about how hot he was, how much it looked like he was now. He said the other night, too. I love these Keith Gary series. People people talk shit about them sometimes, especially when you're getting your
Keith
doors
gets too
blown off.
sidetracked sometimes, though. I can't deal with him going off on his tangents when I'm annoyed. I was happy because the Knicks won, so it didn't bother me. But like during like the losing streak, and Keith goes out on the tangent about how great he used to be in the old days. I love Keith, but I can't hear that shit when I'm feeling cranky.
No, I'm so the opposite, especially when, again, I just didn't have, not that I didn't have confidence coming into this game, but when you face Nick Lodolo's tormented the Mets every single time he's ever faced in his career, even as recently as like 3 weeks ago, Memorial Day. Yeah. And Keith just started reciting sidearmers that he faced in the 70s. Said like Jim McWilliams and like some other guy, Horario, I don't even remember, but him and Gary were just going back and forth with these sidearmers, and Keith was talking about his approach when he would have to go into the park into sidearm. And he was like,
I like that version of Keith.
He's like, I would know it'd be 4 tough at-bats. Gary's like, 4 at-bats? You get 4 at-bats off one guy? It's like, well, not anymore. There were a lot of really audible sighs from Keith this series, which are always super fun. It was just, he mentioned Barry Larkin coming over to their booth and him and Keith chopping it up, and like, imagine how cool it is to like be one of the few National League MVP winners in the history of a sport and being like, hey, another one's down the hall. Let me go say hi. Let me mix it up with the other MVP, my fraternity.
Barry Bonds, Hank Aaron, just a couple guys.
It's just funny as hell. Like it was a good Keith and a Gary week. But Bo again now getting the barrel through the zone, putting the ball where he kind of wants to, playing against the outfielders, which it hasn't felt like he's done at all this season. Also, Soto just hitting the ball incredibly hard every single at bat. The first one into the ground I was almost crashed out for a second. The first thing double play, but then Alvarez doing the same. Ewing had the big double. Bench had the late triple. Marcus Semien, we're going to talk about other things he was doing in a second, but missed a risp, 300 batting average, runs in scoring position, and drew a nice walk after he lost the challenge in that at bat. But just a nice, calm, cool win. And terrible teams get swept. Just regular, mediocre, bad teams lose 2 out of 3. It's
especially like the way the Mets do.
It's nice that we're there now compared to April.
Yeah, Bo Bichette over his last 30 games has an 880 OPS, which sounds
880.
880 over his last 30 games.
Doesn't
that
sound
includes
real.
Today. Over his last 15 games, he has a 1039 OPS, and over his last week, he has a 1400 OPS. Like, he's going to back his way into getting traded off this team. It's kind of sick.
I mean, knock on wood for that one. But a week ago, after the game last Wednesday, Bo Bichette had a 227 batting average and a 597 OPS. I tweeted this. And then after this game, 254 and 677. It could be at 700 by the end of the week. It could go back to 600 after 2 weeks. I don't
Wouldn't
really know.
surprise me either way.
I'm just happy to ride out Bo Bichette and watch how much better this lineup looks when he's in the middle of it hitting.
Yes. Probably win a few more games if he did this in April and May.
Yeah, probably like almost 500 right now. Yeah. Again, even Carson Bench and A.J. Ewing, nice to see them in the lineup against tough lefties. It took him a few times around to actually get things going. Eventually, Bench got his triple off of Chris Paddock, who came in as the mop-up man, which is crazy after all these years.
I honestly didn't think he was on a Major League roster, Chris Paddock. I thought we had run the
second
course.
or third of the year for sure.
Yeah, like run his course. Like, he's got nothing left, guys.
I also like that they were just in the lineup against Lodolo. Like, they're here to play every single day. They contribute enough in other ways. Just nice to see that consistency.
I think it's something that a lot of Major League franchises do to try and protect guys, and I totally get it. But also at the same time, I think if you want these guys to get to those next level, you do have to be able to face both sides. And it's something that we even saw a little bit, like not to the same level, not even close. But like the Yankees were even babying Ben Rice early in the season going up against lefties. It's like these guys are good. They're good ball players. It's not... We don't have this like huge sample of like, oh, they struggle against them career-wise. It's just a smart move to make. They're young players. If you want them to get better, they do have to be given that exposure at some point. And I do like that the Mets are doing that.
And even in terms of all the lefties you're going to face, I know Lodolo we pieced him up in this one. I know his stats are 10.
He's cooked if he got pieced up by us. 11 hits.
Yeah, and we were all over them. We were hitting it hard too. But he's a very, very difficult at-bat for a lefty. Like, from the angle he comes at with that sinker blazing off and then the curveball dropping around, it's like, oh, no. Like, how Keith talked about the fact that he would basically just give up the inside of the plate
Yeah.
when he faced a guy like that. And he'd be like, I'm just covering the other half. Eventually, I know you're going to come outside. Either you're going to miss there, or you're going to try and get me to chase there. So I'm going to look at that spot, and that's all I'm going to try to do is pop him the other way.
Great win, though, for the Mets. Nice win. Those
Nice
games,
win.
again, makes you believe if you didn't watch any other games the rest of the season. You'd think it's a good team.
Makes you believe you didn't watch any other games this week.
Yeah, because which one do we want to get out of the way first?
I
12
guess
nothing?
Yeah, I guess now we'll just go right back to Monday.
Got to be one of the worst games in a really long time.
Like you said, if I wasn't really just still buzzing off of the Knicks and everything that went on last weekend, I would have turned this game off even faster than I wound up doing, which I think I only left it on like while I was cooking. And the second my food is done, I'm like, I'm watching TV. I'm gonna play video game for the first time in like a month. Like, I'm just gonna not think about this.
Second inning happened, and I said, I think I've seen enough. I don't think I need to watch any more of this. I know how this goes. Tobias Myers pitched about as bad as you could ever possibly pitch, which is tough because we could have used him. To his credit, the Mets are completely jerking him around right now. Like, it's
very much.
It's ridiculous how bad they're mismanaging him between starter, reliever, opener, swingman, longman. Like, if I was Tobias Myers too, I'd be like, I don't really even know what's going on today. Like, he felt like he was an opener, right? Like that, he seemed like it was the plan the whole time.
Yeah, and like we said to you guys when we left you last time, the Tobias Myers only worked up to, it was 36 or 43 pitches in his most recent AAA outing, which was as a starter. Like, he literally started the game, but he wasn't deployed as a starter because he was still building up. He's going to continue to build up now, I guess. He got up to 43 pitches in this one, so I guess that is building. And then just the way that this bullpen, the shape of this bullpen after the weekend against the Braves, again, we won 2 out of 3, and that was actually kind of nice. There was nobody left, and Gary and Keith were lamenting about that. They're like, so he can't get out of the second inning. Here's Pintaro. You got 50, 60 pitches out of him, 3-ish innings. Who's going to pitch next? And then the ultimate kick in the teeth, David Peterson sulks his way in for the 6th inning with the shoulders and the face and pitches horribly. And it was kind of the point where it was like, are they going to leave him in? Are they going to bring a position player? And he wound up working his way to 50 in a week when those bullpen was kind of beleaguered. Then when you're like, oh, this is actually sad now.
With over 35 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. And Kratz, there are many, many baseball games on the inventory to check out all summer long. This is the season now. It is baseball season. Not many other options for you sports-wise. I know you can go anywhere you want to go with SeatGeek. There's so many tickets to choose from, but baseball is center stage now for the next couple months.
School's out. I'm going to watch some baseball games, some big league games, all in my area. And I want to know exactly what it looks like. And I also want the best deal. So I'm looking for the green, not the red.
That's right. The green hooks you up with the best deals on the app. Of course, we have the code. It's Territory10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any MLB tickets with the promo code Territory10. Make sure you click the link in the description of this episode. That'll download the app if you don't have it already, and you'll have the code automatically added to your account so that you can use that code later. Thank you, SeatGeek.
If the Mets pitching wasn't so bad, David Peterson would be playing for the Detroit Tigers right now. I don't know. One of the teams at the bottom. He would not be on the New York Mets anymore. But obviously, like we need arms. We just talked about it, how few arms we actually have right now. It's like Tobias Myers, super disappointing to see him play this poorly. He hasn't pitched well, it feels like, in quite some time. We've seen him pitch well for an extended period of time as a Met and also as a part of another organization. So I've not completely lost faith in him. I do think a lot of it has to do with the handling and the constant back and forth and up and down and nonsense that he deals with. And we've heard other Mets relievers talk about how the Mets and Mendoza handle bullpen management. Pintaro, wasn't good, wasn't the worst, didn't make me want to, scream. At least he threw strikes, wasn't walking guys.
I was going to say, I thought Pintaro was actually great given the circumstances, just entering the game into that chaos in the second inning, gave him an inherited run, worked
It's
his way out
kind of
of
like, whatchamacallit, like we played softball on Tuesday night. We missed the Kodai Senga game. You play game 1, you're warmed up for game 2. They were all, they went around the lineup. It felt like 3 times by the time Jonathan Pintaro came in. So they were hot, they were feeling it. He came out and did an okay job.
It was a situation where similarly, I feel kind of bad for Jonathan Pintaro because he's kind of done everything right this entire season.
Yeah.
And to be thrust into that outing when you're on the mound knowing that the team is going to work you until your actual physical brink, and then you're going to be sent back to the minor leagues and lose tens of thousands of dollars over the next few weeks. It's like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah, that's no fun. But David Peterson, man.
No, it's terrible.
There's nothing left. I think he's given up on being a New York Met. I don't think he wants to be here anymore. I don't think the Mets want him to be here anymore. It feels like we should probably cut ties as soon as we possibly can. It's gotten so bad. He's borderline unpitchable in any shape or form of him. I don't know a single team that could truly use him.
You get scared there could be a toxic element. I always come back to that kind of back and forth with him and the media early in the season when it felt like the Mets wanted him to do one thing and then he wanted to do another thing. Also, again, for a guy like Pintara to go down to look at Tobias Myers, Dave Peterson, and be like, all right, I guess I'm going to the minor leagues. You guys are still here. It's like this whole thing is just, it feels rough. There was also, did you catch Tommy Pham on Foul Territory?
I did not. What did he say?
He was talking about the timeline with which he was signed and brought to the majors this year, not having as much time to extend his spring training, not getting to face as much live pitching, but given assurances from the Mets that he would get an extended run to prove himself, then being cut like 6 days later.
I mean, to be fair, I think we saw
totally.
what Tommy Pham had. And Tommy Pham, utmost respect for you. Please don't hurt me because you are a scary man and you've hit a lot of people. Don't hit me. He smacked Jock Peterson in the face over fantasy football. That was insane still. Love Tommy Pham. We love Tommy. Big time Tommy.
He was stashing guys on his IR.
He got nothing left. He had nothing. We saw those at-bats and you're like, Tommy, it's over, dude. It didn't matter how long you were in extended spring.
I was just pulling it in because it was like, it kind of seems like whatever.
Process?
Yeah, not even process. It's more of like the communication, a bit of the humanitarian element. And I guess people would go back and forth about how much of that should even be brought into the handling of the front office. I think some front offices do that. I think every front office does that in a very different way, in a very different mindset. It seems like our front office has a mindset where it's like, we'll just say anything.
We'll do whatever
sometimes.
we want. We'll say anything and we'll do what we want.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Billy Bean thing where it's like, I have to cut them, trade them, tell them they're moving away, tell them they're leaving their family. It kind of feels like the Mets embody that sometimes. It's David Stern's front office.
Yeah, I wish they would do that with David Peterson.
Yeah, but I think they just need someone to soak up these innings. Like it was basically just David Peterson.
Go out every 5 days and just get absolutely fucking dominated.
Just rip it. I mean, because
get the belt.
As we wait for Christian Scott, again, 2-ish weeks, there's like, who else comes up and kind of eats those innings?
Who's on the Syracuse Mets that we're going to see?
It'd be back to Zach Thornton or Jonah Tong, who didn't seem like we're very much considered for these.
I'd rather see Zach Thornton go instead of David Peterson.
I think you probably just like the same.
When am I getting my Xavier Curry?
Good question. Don't know.
Honestly, Duarte's been okay. At the times that we've seen Duarte, he's been fine.
He's not stretched out at all. He's like a 30-40 pitch guy.
Still, it's David Peterson only goes 3 innings. I mean, one less inning than David Peterson.
Just takes him the 50-60 pitches to do so.
Man, who else? Was Kevin hurt? Oh, he's still hurt. I'm trying to see who. Man, there's so many. Do the Mets have any starting pitchers in AAA? What is this?
Yeah, not many. This AAA roster.
Jeffrey Yon up in AAA. I hope he gets called up. I hope that becomes a spectacle.
Justin Armbruster, Wenninger. It's not looking great. But again, just now, when we had like a month of the starting pitching being consistent, we had over 500 month, despite the offense still being poor. Now that the lineup, once in a while, when they actually get hit with guys with the bases loaded, that's the other thing that happened on Monday. What was it? Load the base? Oh, that was Tuesday. Load the bases 3 times.
Yeah,
did nothing with it.
Couldn't do anything. But that's New York Mets baseball.
No, and these two games blended together, even though they shouldn't have, because Tuesday there were a million chances for the Mets to win their game. It just didn't feel like it because Kodai Senga opened the game with walk homer, which.
And then another home run. Don't forget, it was 2 home runs in the first inning.
Yeah, that was a rage. That was like a rage quit moment for me. Like when that happened, I turned off the TV and I was like, I'm not gonna think about the Mets. And then
turned it off on the first one. Then I got my phone buzzing. I gave him another one.
Dude,
way to lock in, Kodai. I appreciate you for coming back out and pitching strong. I know you have some positive things to say about Kodai, but I think
relatively, I
probably am like 95% of the fan base here, where it's like, one, how did this fucking happen? And then 2, I'm so fucking done.
The weird thing about Kodai, again, is after that first inning, he actually did a lot of things, I think, decently well.
Still walked some guys.
I think he only walked 1 guy after that first inning, if I'm not mistaken.
1 or 2 after that first inning?
Yeah, but
I don't think he gave up any hits after the first inning.
I think he only gave up those 2 home runs, were the only 2 hits he gave up the entire game, which is, again, that was something that Kodai could do when he was at his best. The weird thing about Kodai is that this was a game where his fastball was back to 96, where it has been for most of the season. And he actually spun it okay. Like another guy where he seemed to find some consistency with that cutter. That was a pitch he was able to consistently command. The 4-seamer, he also was really just leaving up at the leathers a lot. It was a nice spot for that pitch. The weird thing is now it just feels like, and you talk about like how this happened, it feels like the ghost fork is just spent.
Gone.
And it feels like absolutely nobody's shocked by that pitch anymore. A lot of the misses with it were bad. It seems like the time he was using it, the other guys knew it was coming. The few that were in the zone, hitters were very excited to swing at it. I think there were only 3 in the zone this game, and all of them were swung at, if I'm not mistaken. 3 in the zone, all were swung at. It just doesn't feel like the way that Kodai Senga broke into the league. And we talked about this so much that year and the following year, where it's like, how much can arguably you're like a top 3 most unique individual pitch in baseball take a guy? And we found out it was exactly like a really good year and a half.
Yeah.
And a half.
Yeah, true. I mean, I was also thinking about like Shota and how weird he was too with his lefty
Shota's
sweep.
a lot
versus
better than
starting
Kodai
pitcher.
still.
I know right now, but he has not been the exact same as he was when he first came here.
Yeah.
It's just at some point you probably stop like throwing the ghost fork as much, but he can't.
No, I mean, he didn't throw much in this one because it wasn't working. That's when he went more to the cutter and was more effective through those middle innings. He just has to find a way to sequence it better. The way he got over that hump initially was sequencing that ghost fork better with the cutter, not always using it with 2 strikes, sometimes using it to get strike 2. But like, it just seems like it has to be something that he thinks about every single pitch. And it seems like mentally he's like half defeated some of the time. And I just don't know if he's in the spot where he's actually able to game this out.
He just looks so confused all the time.
It just
looks like he's always
confident.
looking for answers, like this, always looking up. A lot of looking to the sky, looking for answers.
He's not confident in himself right now. It makes sense given what's gone on here. But again, also like there were a lot of chances in this game for the Mets lineup to pick him up. We had so many guys on base almost every single inning.
8th inning, you got the strikeout from Vientos Alvarez back to back when they had TJ Antone on the ropes.
Yeah, I mean, Vientos did hit the home run, but you had there was the 3rd inning where they had guys on. I think the 4th inning did that back to back. Bench came up over and over again, guys on base. He could not come through. Like it was just nonstop. And then also something else that happened this game after it happened the day before.
Carlos Mendoza got ejected.
Did he?
Yeah, he got ejected in this one.
Oh, wow. That must have been during softball.
It was very much during softball.
Okay.
I'll be honest, I actually still don't even know what he got ejected for. He would be he's the worst. He gets ejected and doesn't even know what he got ejected for. Like he came out there, he's like, you threw me out? I didn't even do anything. Everything with him is just so low T.
I was just going to say that it's the challenge thing happening again. And I know that some people are going to point out the fact that we are middle of the pack in a lot of the challenge statistics this year. And we do watch Mets games more intently than we watch any other team's games. But also I think relative to the Mets, Mark and I watch more general baseball games than some other people. And I don't see other teams burning 2 challenges in the first 2 innings, especially not veterans like Marcus Semien with a 1-2 count and nobody on base burning a challenge on a pitch that's so borderline that there's really no reason to be challenging it.
Yeah, it's the confusing thing about them. So technically, for the batting team, like batting, we're really bad. We're towards the bottom in terms of overturns, which that makes tons of sense. I don't know Like Marcus Semien used on a 1-2 count on a pitch that was borderline, and I don't think anybody was on base at the time either.
No. And there's 2 outs, and you're already behind the count.
Yeah, so it's one of those where it's like, okay, so even if you're right, it's a 2-2 count with 2 outs and nobody on. Like you've got to understand the leverage, you've got to understand importance, you've got to understand the situation, and know that unfortunately, Marcus Semien, you struck out. That's the end of it. You got punched out on a count where that you were behind it with nobody on base early in the game. We know that there will be a moment later in the game that will be more valuable, and yet the Mets keep just burning them early in the game on pitches that are too close. If it was blatantly obvious, I understand, but they're not blatantly obvious, these ones. They're wrong.
And there were moments later in this game where you would have liked to have a challenge in your back pocket and put that all away. Because, again, it's happened a bunch this year. It was addressed by Carlos Mendoza and Marcus Semien after the game. Whatever. Fine.
Oh, great. Woo.
The 2nd inning on Wednesday, he did the exact same thing. Leading off the 2nd inning on a 2-1 pitch, he challenged the ball. That grabbed the corner. Keats, he grabbed the corner. And then Gary, who held nothing back this series, he was
awesome. Gary was incredible this series.
While Keith was having fun, Gary was calling a lot of shit out that this team is doing. In this case, it did seem like a bit of a shot at Mendoza, where he's like, Mendoza talked after the game about the fact that they tell these guys that's not a time to challenge. They tell them about understanding leverage. And if you're not doing it in a high leverage spot, do it in a count that could change in at bat, which is similar to what Semien did on Tuesday. But on Wednesday, a 2-1 pitch to lead off the 2nd inning in a 0-0 ball game.
It's so fucking stupid. You're so dense to make that decision.
It should be a blanket rule across the team. You just can't challenge. You can't
No.
challenge pitches.
Take it away from him.
With nobody on base in the first 5 innings. Just never do it unless it's the most obvious thing in the world. And if you think it's the most obvious thing in the world and you get it wrong, you have to do something. You have to throw a grand into a pot, and eventually there's some kind of challenge at the end of the year, and someone gets it. I think the Yankees have been doing something like that. But again, the fact that Mendoza said he addressed it privately and addressed it publicly, and then Marcus Semien does it again.
Almost immediately.
The fourth pitch he sees the next day. It's like either he's just being a maverick and being kind of a jerk off, and then Carlos Mendoza doesn't have the respect of a guy like Marcus Semien or possibly other guys in this clubhouse.
This episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Baseball fans, the MLB season is in full swing, and FanDuel is giving you a chance to call your shot with daily dingers. Joining the action is easy. Just make your free pick on who's hitting a home run in their game, and if you're right, you'll get a profit boost to use on your next bet for a chance at extra winnings. It's just another reason why FanDuel is the home of home runs. So are you ready to play your game? Head over to FanDuel.com/podcast to get started. That's FanDuel.com/podcast to opt in for daily dingers and make your free pick on who's hitting a homer. Play ball and swing for the fences on FanDuel, an official partner of Major League Baseball. No purchase necessary. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
I think any way you slice it, it is a reflection on Carlos Mendoza as a manager, because the guys are either divas and they've tuned him out. And the only people that get tuned out are usually bad managers, people you don't respect. You don't tune out someone you respect. You tune out people you don't respect. Or they do respect Carlos Mendoza, and he's just such an idiot and a moron that he doesn't make any sense when he's explaining to them, so they don't understand actually what he's talking about. Like, either way, it is shocking how consistently early in the games the Mets burn their challenges. How about even just the other teams that we play? It rarely happens that the other teams that we play burn them as quickly as us. Like,
Never
we don't
as
need
much.
to watch the rest of baseball. We have another team that we see every single night, and they don't do this shit.
No, definitely not. And again, there were moments late in that game on Tuesday where I don't distinctly off the top of my head remember any borderline pitches, but it's just nice to have that in your back pocket, make him think about something. Maybe someone makes a different swing decision if you know you have that challenge in your back pocket with 2 strikes. Like, there's opportunities left and right, and it's time after time, it's day after day, and you hear the little tidbits that come out about this Mets clubhouse being like a very player driven clubhouse over the last 2 years, like with Carlos Mendoza, and it's like these guys just kind of get to do whatever they want. Like, where is the accountability? Where is the leadership there?
I will say maybe Marcus Semien's just kind of losing it, because his chase rate has absolutely skyrocketed this year compared to prior years. So like maybe he's like, I don't chase, so when I take a pitch, I know it's a ball. It's like, no, you don't anymore. You have no clue. Like, you're 35, Marcus Semien. Your game has deteriorated.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the challenge leaderboard now. I just want to see batting team, because again, I saw this the other day. I was like, oh, we actually
They're
are
like 47%. I think they're the bottom third.
Yeah, runs versus expected. We're actually 7th best in positive challenges for gained runs, but we are 47% in general.
These
That's
analytics, I don't
funny.
listen to these analytics.
Let's see. Where was the one before?
I got
about,
the old eye test that tells me.
challenge rate. Yeah, expected percentage of challengeable pitches challenged by team. That's the one that we are way at the bottom.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's the reasonable challenge rate. That's a good one.
They're unreasonable.
Yeah. Percent of challenges by team considered reasonable. The Mets are 22nd. So again, there are some teams doing the worst. Apparently the Pirates, the Rockies, the Nationals, the Twins are doing this much worse than us.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, not tuning into a lot of those games. So
Yeah, again, maybe that's why we also bump up in those analytics, because we are just challenging more. So it is just popping up. Our batters have challenged the 10th most pitches in baseball. The Twins have challenged by far the most pitches in baseball. They're also getting a good rate of return, but they're also having a lot of unreasonable challenges. So again, maybe it's just our strategy. Challenge as much as you want, but it doesn't.
It's a bad strategy.
Yeah, I don't really like it. I like having leverage for the end of the game.
What else? Devin Williams hasn't pitched in a week.
No, he hasn't pitched in a week, but
We love doing this.
yeah, last year as well with Edwin Diaz. I can't believe the guy can't get in a rhythm. He never pitches. But
It is also really fun to hear about like how we don't have arms and we don't have innings, and then you can point to multiple guys like, you haven't pitched in 5 days. Like AJ Minter didn't get in this series, right?
well, I mean, you never know. What if you get a lead tomorrow?
Like Carlos Mendoza is an idiot, right? We could just say this. He has
We'll say that.
Okay, fine. We'll be
That was
nice.
mean.
He has no idea how to manage a bullpen. He has no clue at all. Like, how does Devin? I understand Devin Williams is the closer, but if he hasn't pitched since Friday, he could have pitched Monday and pitched Tuesday again. Like, or he could have pitched Tuesday and pitched Wednesday, knowing that there's a day off on Friday. He has to come into the game tomorrow, no matter what. Now,
Yeah, is it a concern with optics? Like, you don't want to bring your closer into a game you're getting dozened.
I mean, or you can bring him into a close game. He won't be ready because he hasn't pitched in a week, which we've seen multiple times with Devin Williams. He does not do well with this time off. And then he gets his tits lit and the Mets lose a game that they should have won.
And again, I think that they would say also that as the Mets dragged their way back into the game on Tuesday, after the CNL Perez and Kodai Senga were the first 5, Austin Warren pitches the 6th, and then you still went to Brazoban Weaver, your 18 bullpen, 7-8. So you would be like, yeah, we still went high leverage, but yeah, maybe one of those innings could have just gone to Devin Williams. Also because those two guys, Luke Weaver and Brazoban,
Nails.
guys are awesome.
AJ Minter's pitched 3 times in the last 10 days. All right.
Yeah, that's good enough. But yeah, you're right about Devin Williams. That's a frustrating thing. His bullpen is nails, though.
Bullpen
And
has
he kept
been nails.
amazing, just besides the starters.
Besides David Peterson.
God, David Peterson. I wish his ERA didn't count against this bullpen's sparkling Sterling ERA.
Yeah, no, me either, but unfortunately it does. Well, that was the Red Series. Not great, not good, not bad. This is just the 2026 Mets experience.
Yeah, it's just not a very good team. I was covering the Brewers on Wednesday for a NBC Sports spot, and after Brandon Sproat had 3 perfect innings to start the game, gave up a grand slam in the 4th, left with a hamstring cramp, Chad Patrick came in the game just without warming up and came in, took a nice warm up, and I think about what we envisioned as a role for like either if Pintaro could actually stay on this club or if we would have kept Myers consistent or possibly Jonah Tong, because Chad Patrick has just kind of been one of these tweeners for the Brewers all season long. Yeah. And he came in and he just destroyed the Guardians with fastballs. It was just fastballs, cutters, and sinkers. I think he threw 1 non-fastball across 3 1/3 innings.
That's kind of crazy.
Struck out 7 guys and gave up 1 walk and 1 hit. It was to the point where Brian Anderson, the Brewers broadcast, was like, Chad Patrick. Like he was it was like he was freaking out watching it. He was like sitting 96. Like it was cool. And I was like, just those guys in the middle who maybe could take to that tweener role and not be sulky about it, like David Peterson, and just kind of be able to grow into that. And then I'm sure there's going to be a point in August where Chad Patrick's making big starts for the Brewers because he's built up the confidence. Now he believes he can get guys out, even if it's just a 5-inning role. Once he gets to the rotation, just getting yourself built up to the spot where this is now a place you can be and be happy and confident and comfortable.
No, that would be nice, but again, it's not how the Mets roll. David Peterson.
You know what's fun though? We're finally facing the Phillies.
First series of the year against the Philadelphia Phillies, James. Can you believe it? We made it.
I fucking can't believe it. It makes me so mad. You know what makes me more mad than not facing the Phillies until June 18th?
The fact that they're finally getting hot again.
Oh, no, they've been hot for a month and a half because they fired their manager. Having an off day on Friday.
Oh, yeah. Why do we have an off day on Friday?
I do not know. I mean, maybe, I don't know.
Oh, I do. Do we have Juneteenth off?
Oh, it's probably because they're doing World Cup at Philly Friday night.
Oh, okay. That will also.
You thought just the Mets and the Phillies had Juneteenth off, but not the rest of the league?
Sure. The NBA gives off stuff. I'm not sure.
The NBA, everyone's
the MLB is very different. Yeah,
everyone's off for Juneteenth in the NBA.
NBA does what? Election day? No games on election day.
Yeah, November. And the NBA, November doesn't matter anyway. Nothing the NBA matters till February.
Oh, yeah, the World Cup would make way more sense.
Way more sense than just the Mets. Hey, you know who has remember that time that Dom Smith cried? Like that now the Mets have off for Juneteenth.
Never forget. Maybe that's what it is.
No, but also Gary and Keith being ornery because they were like, we'll see you guys Thursday, then we're off the rest of the weekend because Saturday evening, 7:15 on Fox, and then we are on Sunday Night Baseball, baby.
Ooh, NBC, our NBC debut.
7:20 Mets Peacock debut. My people over there. But
how are the Mets only just getting on Peacock now?
I thank God.
Yeah,
thank God this team isn't playing more nationally televised games because I don't want the nation to be exposed to this. But we also, I think that's going to be the empty spot in our rotation on Sunday. So the world might get to see Tobias Myers and David Peterson again.
God.
Thursday, 6:40, all 3 guys in the booth, Gary, Keith, and Ron. Bit of an ace-off here. I'm kidding. Not at all.
Can't wait.
Sean Manaea versus Aaron Nola.
Oh, man. 2 guys were getting paid way too much money to be as bad as they are.
Saturday, Freddie Peralta versus Christopher Sanchez.
We own that ass. Give me Christopher Sanchez. You know what? All the tough pitchers that we faced this year, we've gotten on them. Continue the streak with Christopher Sanchez. Balloon that ERA to 2.
I think because we just got murked Lodolo, we're going to get destroyed by Sanchez.
Well,
and then
yeah, we should.
Sunday night on Peacock, 7:20, nationally televised game. Mystery, Tobias Myers and David Peterson versus Zach Wheeler. who's all the way back. This series is going to be. I'm not excited for this.
Listen, last time I said that we're going to get shellacked. We did.
2 out of 3.
We won 2 out of 3. So I'll say it again: the Phillies are going to absolutely own that ass. They're gonna take the belt to it. But here's the thing about the Phillies: while they are playing better baseball, their offense is still not good.
No, it's not. But again, they've just been winning. The pitching is fantastic. Especially the 2 guys I just mentioned. Christopher Sanchez right now. Like if Jacob Mizorowski didn't exist, Christopher Sanchez would be the best pitcher in baseball. It's almost impossible he's not the best pitcher in baseball because he's had a scoreless month.
What's his career ERA against the Mets?
7.36.
4.26. Mets own him.
It's even lower than I thought it was going to be. But he's phenomenal. Like he started off the year a little bit slower. The velocity was a bit down. The strikeouts didn't really come with him out of the gate. But again, scoreless month. He broke Cliff Lee's record for the longest scoreless inning streak in Phillies history in the live ball era. And then he went on to break. It was Grover Cleveland Washington's record. Grover Alexander Cleveland. Very similar to the president's
I was
name.
going to say one of them is a president. Grover Cleveland's a president, right?
Yeah, but there was a third name in there. He broke his
I think
record.
Grover Alexander.
Something like that. Grover Cleveland.
That's not the president.
That is the president.
Okay.
I think this guy was Grover Cleveland Alexander, something of
There's
the
no way
sorts.
to know.
This president also, I was watching one of their games and he was on the streak, and it was Tom McCarthy mentioned the fact that this guy was never the president, but he was an actor after his baseball career.
What?
And he was in a movie with Ronald Reagan.
What?
Isn't that bizarre?
That's crazy. Grover Alexander.
This guy, I think he also won a Cy Young like before the Titanic set sail.
What?
No, yeah, it's in my notes right now. I'll pull it up for you in a second. But it's Christopher Sanchez is pretty good.
Yeah, looking at their offense, of course, because that's my thing. It's the guys that you'd expect. Kyle Schwarber is phenomenal. He has 25 home runs on the year. He's also striking out almost as much as he ever has in his career, but that OPS is 942, so who cares? Bryce Harper is still mashing because he's Bryce Harper. The surprise one's Brandon Marsh, who just continues to play incredible baseball right now. So much so that people are saying that I'm underrating him because I didn't say he should start in the All-Star game for the National League, despite there being like 10 other really good outfielders. But Marsh is having a really good season. Here's the thing. Almost everybody else is playing probably some of the worst baseball in the entire league. Like, looking at Baseball Reference, the Phillies might have more negative WAR guys than the Mets. It's just that they have Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, and Brandon Marsh on the offensive side, which is carrying everything.
And Christopher Sanchez pitched a scoreless month.
Yes, but otherwise, like, the rest of his team, and Wheeler's been great. Rest of his team's kind of been in flux. So, again, shout out Phillies for firing their manager, hiring Don Mattingly, who's got the guys playing right. 31-14 under Don Mattingly, 9-19 under Rob Thompson.
Wow, that is insane.
That's disgusting that the Mets didn't make a move.
Andrew Painter got dumped, sent to the minor leagues after he got blown up by the Marlins on Wednesday. They also on Tuesday night, Brandon Marsh hit leadoff because Trey Turner got a much needed night off because he's going to play great against the Mets, but he was rough. I also got I got Grover Cleveland Alexander stats for you.
His name can't be Grover Cleveland Alexander.
I'm telling you, it was Grover Cleveland Alexander. He set the Phillies scoreless record 1911. That was 115 years ago.
Cleveland Alexander.
Yeah, in 1911, he had a really good season. He went through 370 innings, had 28 wins, 31 complete games, 7 shutouts, and he came in third for the MVP.
It's not bad.
Yeah, the next year is when the Titanic set sail.
That's absolutely insane.
Christopher Sanchez broke that guy's record.
His nickname is Old Pete. That doesn't make any sense for that name.
It does for that era. Anyone could have been Old Pete back in 1911.
Damn, they used to die so young. It's just normal.
Yeah. What was that guy at Delahanty, the guy who got drunk and fell into the Niagara Falls?
Yeah, got so drunk on a train traveling to play in a game. He was an MVP. He's one of the best players of all time. Got drunk on a train. Started brandishing a straight razor and threatening passengers trying to steal their luggage.
That's just Ed.
He got thrown off the plane. The train. He was by Niagara Falls. Apparently, there was a mysterious figure that followed him around. Ed Delahanty then proceeded to fall into Niagara Falls, fall off the falls, dead. And I think Ed Delahanty played in the late 1800s, early 1900s. Guy had 5 seasons of an over 1,000 OPS.
I think he also left baseball at that point. He was some kind of actor in some kind of traveling Broadway
No, he just did
thing.
that too. I think he died while he was playing, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, he just did that. Maybe it was an off-season thing. But yeah, it's back in the day.
Yeah, 1903, he died in July 2nd. He was very much playing for Washington at the time.
Wow. So Zach Wheeler's velocity's back
Yeah, it's totally back.
After Therese-Gallo syndrome, he's just sitting 96, 97 again. The feel for the secondaries are there.
He got the surgery, right, to the experimental surgery?
I don't know if it's experimental, but it's not the same one that Strasburg and Harvey got. Okay. Chris Carpenter. He got one that's
this one might be
different.
the one that might not make it the actual killer.
This was the Merrill Kelly one.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I don't know the specifics of the procedure, but I know it was the Merrill Kelly one, not the Chris Carpenter, Strasburg, Harvey one. And he's been awesome. And, like, again, we're not facing the bad Philly pitchers besides Nola, who's been dreadful. But, I mean, Aaron Nola's going to be able to reach back and destroy the Mets one last time. I know we can. I mean, not one last time. He's 5 years and, like, $170 million left in that contract.
Yeah, there's still a lot of Aaron Nola starts left.
But even Marsh and Bohm and Stott have really come around over the last few weeks. Justin Crawford had a hot stretch, but he hasn't been a league average hitter. Like, they've kind of been all over the place with, again, the bottom of their order, while Schwarber, Harper, and Marsh have carried the whole season.
Yeah, those guys do the heavy lifting for a Philly offense. I mean, we've seen it. We know what it is. They are extremely top-heavy. They disappear at times, and sometimes they're unbelievably hot.
Kyle Boddy has left the Red Sox organization to pursue other opportunities. Story broken by Tim Healy. Nice.
Smart. I wouldn't want to work for Craig Breslow. Talk about an idiot.
Boddy said in that piece with the Boston Globe, shout out Tim, that he was serving as a special advisor to Craig Breslow, a role he said had become very part-time.
Nice.
I guess he was just recommitting his time to Driveline. He's been doing a lot of Driveline stuff. He's been really doing a lot of AI Driveline stuff. He's a good follow. He's a fun guy.
Nothing else to talk about?
I think that's it. I'm going to throw Frankie out here.
We got Frank. Oh, Frankie, let's go.
Yeah,
I forgot
Frankie's
this
back.
isn't the third episode.
No, it's not the third episode. Yeah, we just recapped the series, remember?
Yeah, no, we did just talk about a Red series that I was really excited to watch.
Yeah, so here comes Frankie. Frankie left us a podcast here. This is Frankie. I'll give you 90 seconds right now. Try and keep these to 60 going forward.
90?
Try and keep them to 60. I'm assuming Frankie can bring some good creativity into this one, but let's see what he's got.
Gentlemen, this is Frankie Pappas. How you doing?
How you doing?
It's a bit of a wet fart of a series, wasn't it, boys? But there's some beautiful stuff going on from Bo Bichette and Nolan McLean. This series, you know, of course, season's dead and buried, and now they're turning it on. Great, beautiful timing, gentlemen. Love it. So I was reminiscing over happier times earlier and listening to some old episodes of Mets'd show where I used to call leave Instagrams for you 2 years ago. I sounded a lot younger then. I had a lot more youthful exuberance and exilience in my voice. And I remember that you were discussing what the name of my Instagram segment would be here. And Mr. James wound up calling it Frankie's Fresh Takes Side of Peppers. And I don't know why that name didn't stick, but it did, gentlemen. So I'm trying to... I'd like to see what we could maybe call my segment if we could get a name. I'm trying to think of a name and maybe
I've got a name.
Yeah, the hot sauce with Frankie Peppers, hot takes, hot sauce takes.
These were kind of good.
Frankie's stuffed peppers, hot takes. I don't know. Clearly, I don't got the gift like you do, gentlemen. So I'd love some deliberation on that. All right, boys. I hope you're doing well. Let's go, Mets. This is a long one. Sorry, but take care, boys.
I mean, Frankie's phone calls feels like
I like what do you say? Hot sauce of Frankie Peppers.
Yeah, sauce of Frankie.
It's kind of funny. That's
Doesn't
like
mean anything, but I like it.
It's like a triple entendre in there. I mean, would love to get a name for the segment, but what I really love is a sponsor for the segment.
If anybody wants
local delicatessen out there.
Yeah, if you got fresh peppers, we'll promote them.
Absolutely.
Get in contact with us.
Anything, especially all these Europeans who are over in the East Coast right now. We're blowing their minds with Italian delis in Jersey and New York.
It's so cool to see like that one German account that's gained like 500,000 followers on Twitter because he's just being German in America.
Dude, every single one. It's just my algorithm is all Knicks, and then once in a while it's a European doing something crazy in America. That's all I want.
The Scottish guys wearing the kilts and shit like that.
Yeah, I was with a bunch of Scottish people wearing kilts today at a bar in Williamsburg watching England just take it to Croatia, and they were cheering. The Scots were cheering against England like I cheer for the Mets.
Yeah.
They talk about youthful exuberance. These were a bunch of old men sitting in the back of the pub, just downing Guinness after Guinness after Guinness after Guinness, just freaking out for Croatia.
Miss a good hate watch.
Oh, that's an all-time good hate watch. Besides the Ireland, it's the best hate watch you can almost get in the history of the United Kingdom.
And I think that's it for us. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. Make sure you're subscribed to Mets'd on YouTube. If you're listening to us, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, drop us a rating, drop us a review, download, and subscribe. You can follow James on social media at
James Shiana.
I'm Giraffe Nick Mark. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.
Peace out, guys. I can't say let's go Knicks anymore. Let's go Mets, I guess.
Ugh.